When I grow up, I want to be a soldier.
When I grow up, I'm going to be a nurse for the soldiers.
When I grow up, I want to be a singer.
I want to be in the Army as a chief fire motorman.
The Gunnery Sergeant John Dee Frye Scholarship is named in honor of my husband. Every child of every fallen in line of duty receives it. It's not based on grades. It's not based on any qualifications. You have it. It's yours. I go to a TAPS event and I go in the kids section and there's 1,000 kids at a camp and I think every one of them gets to go to college. And that's pretty amazing. It started out surprisingly as a joke. I was joking with my children. My husband had been gone about 8 months and we were driving to school. On one side of the road was the new primary school, on the other side is the post office. And as we drove by, I said, "Okay, kids, which one are we going to name for Dad?" And they giggled and laughed, and they said, "The post office." Well, I let it go, and months went by, but it kept nagging at me. And I had told his men that I wanted to do something to make him be remembered. So I called the local VA office and started finding out what you did to get a post office named after someone. Little did I know, it takes an act of Congress. My husband was Gunnery Sergeant John David Frye. He was killed in action near Habbaniyah, Iraq, March 8, 2006. He had 7 days left, was supposed to come home. They were clearing a road between TQ, Iraq, and Habbaniyah. They had disarmed 4 IEDs that night. They were working on the 4th at the time when he brushed his hand and found a remote IED with an antenna. He told his guys to freeze, remote, and went to disarm it, but they were watching and remote detonated it before he could disarm the IED. He was killed. His guys made it home. The day he arrived in Dover, they arrived home. So he came home with his guys. It took 2 years from start to finish to get the dedication of the post office done. At the dedication was actually the first time I met a congressman, and he asked me the big question that he should have never asked me, "What can we do for you?" And so I told him, I said, "I don't know how I'm going to send my kids to college." And he said, "Let's see what we can do." Little did I know, 6 months later, he calls me and I was waiting in Taco Bell drive-thru to get my kids dinner. And I remember this so vividly. And he says, "I'm going right now to present the extension of the GI Bill. I guess I'll call you when I'm done." So I got dinner and I was driving home and the phone rang and it was him. I pulled over the side of the road and he said, "It passed. It passed unanimously." And he said, "Just so you know, it's not the extension of the GI Bill. It's the Gunnery Sergeant John Dee Frye Scholarship." And that's the first time I knew it was going to be named after John. I have a 17-year-old, and she will use the Gunnery Sergeant John Dee Frye Scholarship to go to school.
I'm very proud of my mother. It's an honor of my dad, but it's really my mom who got it done. The accomplishments that she's made by herself, and then also taking care of a household, it's amazing. And I get teary-eyed thinking about it too. Because she's such a strong, womanly figure, and I love it. So.
And I run into kids all the time, and they find out they're adults now. We've had our first graduates, and they'll be like, "Are you that Frye?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm that Frye." And they're like, "Thank you, I got to go to college." And that just blows my mind when that sort of stuff happens.
I graduated in 2013 from Texas State University. I have a bachelor's degree in exercise and sports science. Honestly, if I didn't have the Frye Scholarship, I'm not sure how I would have actually completed school.
So not only was it a burden lifted from me, but I'm really glad I could help everyone else, that it went that far, that it was that far-reaching.